So here we can start with our topic that is titled MATLAB program discrete time signals. So to accomplish the task here, a brief aim here we are going to have here. So in this session we are of course using the MATLAB environment, and thereupon we shall be writing the script, we shall be programming for generation of the standard discrete time signals. The list I am here going to give you, that it is unit impulse signal, unit step signal, unit ramp signal, exponential signal, and finally the sinusoidal signal. So these standard types of the signal are different than the one that we have seen in the previous video, that it was for the generation of continuous time signal representation, and here it is the discrete time signal representation here. So to accomplish this particular task, let us shift to the MATLAB environment. So here we have MATLAB environment, and now we require untitled editor window where we can program for the task here. Now let us have the first line to program, where I just mention a comment what is the purpose of this particular program. I have practiced to do the same, and it was also done in the previous program as well. So let us write it to be a program for generation of discrete time signals. Discrete time signals here. So now, as we have a difference from continuous time signal to discrete time signal, the time parameter, the time axis, thereupon for continuous time signal generally we denote with the help of small t, whereas for the discrete time on the horizontal axis we have the denotion of the time intervals by the letter small n here. So due to the limitation of the console and further things here we shall be limiting the time axis right from -20 to +20 here with the interval of 1 unit here. So here we are writing the minimum value, that it is -20 first of all, the colon we are providing, then we are writing 1, and then finally after again a colon we are writing 20 here. So positive 20 is the maximum value, negative 20 is the minimum value, and in between the two the interval of 1 will be there by this particular MATLAB syntax here. So this is the time parameter we require for the representation of the discrete time signals. Now we are going one by one to the list that we have shown to you people. So for generation of, very first of all I have unit impulse signal to be generated here. So I just modularize my MATLAB script here. With the help of the comments here I will be mentioning unit impulse signal. Now for generation of the unit impulse signal I will take the help of the intermediate variables defined as, let us say the name is x1, and it holds the amplitude 1 here. Along with x1 I will require another variable, let us say it is x2, that will be holding the value 0, that will be of course utilized for representation of the amplitude level in a certain range of time here. Now unit impulse signal, all of we know here that at n is equal to 0, as we are in the discrete time representation of the signal, at n is equal to 0 it holds the amplitude 1. Rest of the values of the n, there the amplitude is equal to 0 here. So let us have the variable x, that will be the unit impulse signal information. So x here we build up with the help of x1 and x2. So we write first of all x1 and multiply x1 by, in the bracket here we write n is equal to 0 here. So dot asterisk operation is element wise multiplication of the values here. So for equal to we have to write 2 times equal to sign here in the MATLAB syntax. So this is for n is equal to 0. Then we are making the use of x2 variable that just now we have defined. So x2 dot asterisk, in the parenthesis we are writing n, that it is not equal to 0. So we want the amplitude to the value 1 only once, that is at equal to 0 time interval, time instance here, and rest of the places we require it to be no amplitude, it should be 0 amplitude here. So this is what the logic simple way we have generated, and now it's time to have display of it. So total we are having the 5 signals to be generated here. Here first of all we will make the use of subplot for the display purpose. We shall prefer first of all 3. So I just have 3 comma 1 comma 1, the first cell of 3 by 1 here, and for the display of the discrete time signals, at it was the plot command for the display of continuous time signals. For display of discrete time signal we have stem command in MATLAB. So instead of plot, go for stem command, and now the two axes are to be provided as input within the parenthesis here. So these are n comma x, there it was t comma x. X was holding the information regarding the amplitude levels at the specified intervals of time, whereas t, that it was holding the time parameter in continuous manner. Here n is the parameter to hold the time at discrete levels here. Now after the plot of this unit impulse signal in the first cell of the subplot here, we require nomenclature to the two axes, those are having a display here. So we have the horizontal axis. So for nomenclature we shall be requiring the MATLAB syntax x label. So after x label, within the parenthesis and a pair of single quotes, I shall be mentioning the discrete time parameter denoted by small n, whereas for nomenclature of the another axis we have to write y label. So after y label, within a pair of parentheses and a pair of single quotes, here we shall be denoting x of n here. In the previous MATLAB programming we were denoting x of t, so that it was the time domain representation, and of course for the continuous time here. Here it is again the time domain representation of the signal, but in discrete way, that is why for time parameter we are preferring small n here. So after nomenclature of the two axes here, we will like to provide the title to the specific cell where we are having a display of this unit impulse signal in the subplot here. So for that purpose, after the title command, within a pair of parentheses and a pair of single quotes, I shall mention the name of the signal that it is being displayed here in discrete form. So there it is in the command line already written. So it is unit impulse signal. So here it is the thing that we have done for display of the unit impulse signal that we have generated in the form of the variable x here. So still our script is untitled here, we have to save it first of all. So let us save it with the program name. Let us write program 1_4_1, suppose .m will be the file extension. So yes, here we have saved it and the same file has been generated there in the current directory here. Now let us run this much of the script so that we will come to know that whether we are going in the right direction or not. So we expect in the workspace on the right hand side the variable generated, and also one MATLAB window to come out to show the subplot with one cell. So here I run this particular program. So see here in the workspace, as I minimize this particular window, we have the variables named small n, small x, x1 and x2 here, and here we are having the MATLAB window that is popped up here. So we are having the 3 rows and a single column 3,1,1. So the first cell is assigned the display of this unit impulse signal as we have given. So right from -20 as you see on the left extreme here to the +20 on the right extreme, we are having the amplitude levels to 0 except at n is equal to 0 at the middle. At n is equal to 0 we are having the amplitude level to the 1 here. See, n is the parameter displayed on the horizontal axis, whereas on the vertical axis where the amplitudes are plotted here, we have the representation of the signal in discrete form by x of n here, and the title is provided unit impulse signal. So out of the 5 signals to be generated, as we defined in the introduction, the first signal is generated and of course displayed onto the console in the MATLAB. So now after this particular unit impulse signal, we will have the generation of another signal. So after impulse signal, generally we prefer to have step signal here. So here I shall be having two signs of the percentage sign, so that the body of the text that I am developing here will be separated out with the help of a horizontal line in the editor window here. And here, as it is commented, I shall be mentioning the name of the signal that I am being generated here. So let us write here unit step signal. So for unit step signal, I will require x1 as a variable to hold the amplitude level of 1, and then x2 as a variable to hold the amplitude level of 0 here. Then I will build the unit step signal and it will be holded by the variable named x here. So let us have the x that is being built up with the help of x1 and x2. So I will take first of all x1, which is multiplied by dot asterisk in the bracket. Here I will write n greater than or equal to 0 here, and this is further added by x2 dot asterisk, the multiplication for in the bracket I will provide n less than 0. So I will end this particular line with the help of the semicolon. So for the negative values of the n, right from n is equal to -1, -2 up to -20, as we have a span defined in the very first line here, we want the amplitude level of the signal to be at 0 here. That is why we are assigning it a multiplication by the x2 variable, whereas for the n is equal to 0 and in the positive side up to 20 here in the positive, we require that amplitude level to be at 1 here. So this is what the logic we have built up, and now it's the part of display here. So for display purpose, I shall be making the use of subplot. So here 3, 1, 2, the second cell, 3 rows, only 1 column, and here it is the second entry here. And for display to this particular cell, I will be writing stem function here, and to this stem function we require the two axes to be represented. So these are the input arguments. Here I am providing within the parenthesis here n comma x, n for the representation of the discrete time on horizontal axis, and x the amplitude levels as logically built up in the above statement here. Now after this plot to that particular second cell here, we should label the two axes of this particular graphical plot here. So for that purpose, as the previous case we have done for unit impulse signal, I will be taking the help of x label, and within a pair of parentheses and a pair of single quotes inside it, I am mentioning small n. Then for the another axis, the syntax is y label, again within a pair of parentheses and a pair of single quotes. Here it is the representation of discrete time signal here. That is why instead of x of t, here it is x of n. And now the title. So the title to this specific cell of the subplot here, the name of the signal being displayed. So here we have built up unit step signal. So this is what we have completed here. Let us save the changes and run this program. So in the subplot of 3 by 1 here, we expect the two entries. First one for unit impulse signal as we have displayed it before, and now the unit step signal. So let us run this script. So here I maximize the window. So now you see in the first cell we have unit impulse signal as before, and now unit step signal in the second cell here. So the discrete time parameter n on the horizontal axis, x of n on the vertical axis. Now you see, right, for n is equal to 0 and onwards in the positive side, for all the entries we have amplitude equal to 1, and for n is equal to minus values, that is less than 0, we have the amplitude level equal to 0. So this is just the unit step signal here. So I just close this window and I will go for generation of the another discrete time representation of the signal here, standard type here. So here again commenting twice for separating it from the script here. Of course the execution will be in continuation here. So I just mentioned the name of the signal that I am going to generate here. So here it is, unit ramp signal. And now for unit ramp signal, I will be making the use of x1 as a variable to hold the amplitude equal to not 1, as ramp signal is having the amplitude increasing with the increase of the time parameter. Here the time parameter is denoted by the small n here. There it was in the case of continuous time signal, we have used x1 is equal to small t. Now x1 is equal to small n here we are using. Then we require x2 to hold the value 0 for n is equal to negative values. So n less than 0, we want the amplitude equal to 0 here. Now the unit ramp signal we will try to develop, and we will hold that information in the variable called as small x here. So we make the use of x1 and x2 both here. So x1 is multiplied by x1 dot asterisk in the bracket. Here we have n greater than or equal to 0 here. So this should be equal to sign, and this should be further added to x2 amplitude multiplied by, here we should have n less than 0. So this should be the simple logic, and after building this kind of unit ramp signal, we should have a plot of the same. So let us write subplot. So in the subplot, as we are having 3 by 1 dimensions, 3 rows or 1 column, now this should be the third entry. And after this subplot, for actual plotting in that particular portion, we should make the use of stem command here. And to the stem command, as the previous case, we have to put the inputs n comma x here. Now it comes to the nomenclature part, to the axis of the plot here. So we require the x label, and here we shall be having the variable small n within a pair of single quotes inside a pair of parentheses. Here we have to end this line with the help of the semicolon here. Now y label. So for y label, within a pair of parentheses and a pair of single quotes here, the discrete time representation of the signal in symbolic form can be done with the help of x of n here. And lastly, we require the title here. So title, here we mention the name of the signal that is being displayed here. So here it is, unit ramp signal. So this completes the generation and the display of the 3 signals here. So we save the script and run it. So here we have the 3 signals: unit impulse signal, unit step signal, and the unit ramp signal in the third cell here. To accommodate the 5 signals here, it will be quite not possible to have all the 5 signals in the 5 rows here. So better way, I will have the rest of the 2 signals in a separate subplot here. So this is the unit ramp signal. You see, for the negative values of the n discrete time variable, the amplitude level is equal to 0, and for the positive values starting at n is equal to 0, it is continuously increasing with the increase of the number. So you see, we have the highest amplitude at n is equal to 20, the amplitude level is equal to 20. For n is equal to 15, we have the amplitude level at 15 here. So this way the ramp signal here we have generated here. Now for generation of the rest of the two signals, let us have the another subplot. So I can also do it in the another window as well. So initially we want close all, clear, and then CLC. After that I want the discrete time variable denoted by n here, which will be holding the range of values from -20 to +20 here with the specified interval of 1. And now we shall have the generation of the signal here. So let us have the fourth type of the signal to be generated here. For discrete time domain, let us have it the exponential signal. So this is the exponential signal here. And now let us have for representation of the exponential signal the use of the variable by the letter capital A. It holds 0.95 as the value. And now let us generate x with the help of a to the power. So the power is given with the help of dot cap here, and the variable is n here. Now this way exponential signal can be generated here, and now it can be plotted here. So for the plot purpose, as we are left with the fourth signal and the fifth signal, so for the case here we take 2 by 1 here. So 2 comma 1 comma the first cell 1 here, and for plotting the exact signal to this particular cell of the subplot here, we make the use of stem command. Inside the stem, as usual, we shall be providing the two parameters as the input arguments n comma x here. Now it comes to the labeling part here. The two axes, horizontal axis is labeled x label, and here the name to the horizontal axis is just represented by the discrete time variable small n, whereas the another axis is also labeled, nomenclature is provided, and this is nothing but the discrete time representation of the signal x of n. So we end this syntax with the help of the semicolon, and finally also provide the title to this section here. So the title is within a pair of parentheses and a pair of single quotes the name of the signal that has been generated here. So here it is exponential signal. Now ending this also with the help of a semicolon, we will like to run this particular program so that we shall visualize exponential signal. So first of all, save this program. So let us have the name program 1_4_2, the second section of this particular program. .m will be the file extension, and as I run this particular program, the subplot command, yes, here it should not be a full stop, it should be the comma here. So I run this particular program again, and you see the variables are generated in the workspace, and here it is the subplot displayed here. So now you see the exponential signal is the title, x of n on the vertical axis, n on the horizontal axis, and you see the amplitude is exponentially decreasing here. So I just close this MATLAB window, and after exponential signal I will generate the last signal, so commenting its name. So the signal we require to have generated in the discrete time domain is sinusoidal signal. So this is sinusoidal signal. So now generation of sinusoidal signal, we require capital N as a variable to hold the value 20. Then we also require the f. See, for sinusoidal signal, as it is of a periodic kind of the signal, the repetition of the same structure goes on. So as it was for the continuous time signal generation, we had used letter capital T to be the time period of that signal. As we are in the discrete time representation, let us have capital N to be the time period of sinusoidal signal, and that we have denoted capital N with the value 20 here. Now the frequency is just the reciprocal of the time period here. That is why we just mention here f is equal to 1 by 20 or 1 by capital N here. Now we have to build up the sinusoidal signal here. So let us make the use of inbuilt sine command in the MATLAB here. So after sine, sin, within the brackets here we shall be providing 2 multiplied by the constant pi. Constant pi will be simply pi here. So it holds the value 3.14 and so on. And this is further multiplied by f, the frequency component that we have just computed in the above step, and the discrete time variable small n here. So sine 2 pi fn, here it is the formulation for the sinusoidal signal here. You can also take it for the cosine as well. Now here it should be a subplot. So as we are having only 2 signals to be generated and displayed in this particular section, so we have 2, 1, here it is the second cell. So I just provide 2, 1, 2. So for display purpose in this particular cell here we require the stem command, and the input arguments are n, x here. So after this we have to label the 2 axis of the plot here. So the horizontal axis is x-axis. I just mention x label as the syntax, and within a pair of brackets and inside there it is a pair of single quotes, I just put n as the discrete time variable representation. Then similarly the another axis is to be also nomenclatured so that it is y label. So here we have the symbolic notation for discrete time representation of the signal by x of n here. And finally the title. So the title to this particular section is the name of the signal that we are going to display in this subcell here by the use of subplot command here. So this is sinusoidal signal. So this is the sinusoidal signal we have been displayed here. So let us save the changes and just run this particular program. So let us maximize this window. You see it was the exponential signal in the first cell. Downwards there it is sinusoidal signal. So you see the 2 cycles of the sine wave. Here the maximum amplitude in the positive side is +1, whereas in the negative side we have -1. X of n is the representation on the vertical axis, whereas n is the representation on horizontal axis here. So this way we have the generation of the 5 standard types of the discrete time signal representations in this particular session.